The Japanese tea ceremony may appear to be a traditional cultural ritual, focused solely on preparing a drink for a guest. But in reality, it encompasses much more. In Japan, it is elevated to an art form, going beyond the merely serving tea. The essence of the Japanese tea ceremony lies in creating an environment where guests can truly feel the host's warm hospitality in a peaceful atmosphere. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The Japanese tea ceremony, known as Sado, which means the way of tea, is a traditional ritual deeply rooted in Japanese culture and aesthetics. It involves the ceremonial preparation and presentation of matcha. The Japanese tea ceremony typically takes place in a small tea room, or a special tea house, designed to accommodate just 4 or 5 people. These spaces are often built to resemble a hermit's hut, creating an intimate and serene atmosphere. During the tea ceremony, the guests not only take a break from everyday life, but also form an intimate bond with the host. Speaking of the origins of the Japanese tea ceremony, it's interesting to note that the tradition of tea drinking originated in China, while the ceremony itself is deeply ingrained in Japanese culture. The practice is believed to have begun as early as the 2nd century BCE, with the Chinese sage Bodhidharma, also known as Daruma, playing a significant role in its spread. Buddhist monks started drinking tea to aid their meditation and stay awake. Bodhidharma's teachings laid the groundwork for Zen Buddhism, which greatly influenced the Japanese tea ceremony. Through Zen philosophy, the ceremony transformed beyond a simple act of hospitality to embody principles of tranquility, mindfulness, and the appreciation of nature. In Japan and other parts of East Asia, tea drinking became an esteemed activity by the 13th century. Aristocrats adopted it to showcase their cultural refinement, and the practice evolved to include specially designed tea rooms, carefully landscaped gardens, and fine porcelain. Tea drinking transformed into not just a cultural experience, but an art form. Actually, the Japanese tea ceremony is not an entirely appropriate translation of Sado, as it suggests a formality that does not fully embody the depth and spirit cherished by tea aficionados. Sado has 4 main principles: harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility, which were established by Sen-no Rikyu in the 16th century. He's a renowned tea master who introduced the wabi-cha style. These principles are still essential in tea ceremonies today. Rikyu also refined and formalized the ceremony, adding elements from Zen Buddhism and the aesthetics of wabi-sabi, emphasizing the deeper spiritual and cultural significance of the practice. Historically, the ritualistic tea ceremony has been widely practiced across East Asia. However, while China later favored steeping loose-leaf teas, Japan continued to perfect the ceremonial preparation of matcha. In 1872, the Japanese government officially recognized the tea ceremony as a form of art with significant cultural importance. Although the specific actions of a tea ceremony may vary slightly among different schools, several common elements remain. A complete, formal Japanese tea ceremony typically lasts several hours, starting with a kaiseki meal, followed by a serving of thick tea, and concluding with thin tea. However, modern tea ceremonies are often shorter, focusing mainly on the enjoyment of thin tea. Now, let's outline the brief procedures to help you understand the essence of the Japanese tea ceremony. As a guest, remember to avoid being too fancy or fashionable. It's better to wear modest clothes, and remove any jewelry that could damage the tea equipment. Also, avoid wearing strong perfumes, as they can distract from the tea experience. Traditionally, Japanese tea ceremony venues are surrounded by gardens, although many modern venues don't have one. Before entering the tea room, guests wash their hands and rinse their mouths in a stone basin, called a tsukubai. This ritual symbolizes the removal of the dust and impurities of the outside world, preparing guests to enter the serene and sacred space of the tea room with a clean body and mind. The entrance of the tea room for guests is sometimes kept low, requiring them to bend over, which symbolizes humility. When the host enters the room and bows, the guests bow back to show humility and respect. In the tea room, the focus is on the interaction between the host, guests, and tea utensils. Once the guests have taken their positions, they can observe the carefully selected decorations for the occasion. The host chooses a set of utensils, specific to the gathering, and uses them to prepare the tea in front of the guests. The exact movements of the host are important, but vary depending on the school of tea ceremony. The key is to make only the minimum necessary movements, which should be precise, graceful, and restrained. Additionally, both the host and the guests should remain silent while the tea is being prepared, allowing everyone to fully appreciate the ritual and the atmosphere of tranquility and respect. The tea bowl is placed on the tatami mat in front of you, facing towards you. To show respect to the host, guests are expected to lift the tea bowl. Then, use your right hand to rotate the bowl, so that its front no longer faces you. Sip the tea in small sips, savoring each one. After finishing, wipe the rim of the bowl with your thumb and forefinger. Then, rotate the bowl counterclockwise to return it to its original position before placing it back on the tatami mat. In summary, the Japanese tea ceremony is a cultural practice that transcends the act of drinking tea. It's a beautiful ritual that fosters respect and tranquility, creating a serene space where both host and guests can deeply connect with the present moment and each other. Influenced by Zen Buddhism and wabi-sabi aesthetics, the ceremony reflects principles of simplicity and appreciation of nature, continuing to inspire people around the world. What are your thoughts on the Japanese tea ceremony? We'd love to hear your opinions, so please share them with us. We also have an article about the Japanese tea ceremony. If you want to learn more about it, check out the article linked in the description box below. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you soon.